Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife Hayes, and regular viewers will know I love MMORPGs. I've played them for most of my life and have spent collectively tens of thousands of hours inside virtual worlds. But lately, there's been one question I've been asking myself. See, I've played subscription games, and free games with paid-for VIP status, and even buy-to-play games, so I've spent, like you, quite a bit of money on MMORPGs. But how much money would it cost per month to play every MMORPG? And not just play as in log in, run around and log out, but actually be competitive at. I don't think anyone has answered this question, probably because the exact number is pretty subjective. We'd have to define how many MMORPGs there are, what we mean by competitive, how much a freemium game actually costs at endgame. So let's do that. Let's get analytical and work out how much it would cost to realistically play every MMORPG. Okay, we need to define a few parameters before we begin. First of all, how many MMORPGs are we playing? All of them sounds great, but that's also impossible. We need to actually be enjoying and experiencing these games. So let's say we are a bored billionaire. Money and time isn't an issue. We need to play each game for a minimum of 2 hours, and we've got 8 hours a day to play. Because most subscription games renew every month, let's say we'll have a 1-month cycle to play through our list before we return to the first game again. 30 days a month on average, 8 hours a day, that's 240 hours to play. Giving 2 hours to each MMORPG means we can play 120 MMORPGs for 2 hours each within a month period. 120 MMOs. Right, now we just need to work out the most popular 120 MMO games and their total monthly cost. But before we get to work on the list, I'm going to divide the costs of each game down into 4 categories. The first, initial cost. Do you have to spend money to actually buy this game, like Guild Wars 2 or any of the World of Warcraft expansions? This would be a one-time cost and not a monthly reoccurring one. 2. Monthly subscription. This is a cost we have to pay each month. That'd be your World of Warcraft or your Final Fantasy XIV. 3. What I'm going to call a pseudo-sub or VIP. These are games with VIP systems or optional monthly membership clubs, not essential to pay, but they do provide in-game benefits, like Neverwinter's VIP Club or the Terror Club. For this video, we're going to be joining every monthly club that we can. And 4, probably the most difficult column, free-to-play, pay-to-win games. These are the games that are totally free to download and play, but you'll be heavily encouraged to spend money once you've invested some time, like Runes of Magic, or Rift, or any multitude of Korean games. This category will also include those one-time boost items, such as buying Guardian status in Adventure Quest, payments you're encouraged to make once that have a permanent benefit. This will probably be the hardest to work out category because we'll need to find the average amount of money you'll need to spend on each game to be competitive. Okay, with those categories defined, or at least loosely organised, let's start making our list of the top 120 MMORPGs. It turns out, this is really difficult to do past the first 30 or so. You see, the world of MMORPGs is massively one-sided. The popular few have millions of players, and after the top 20 or so, it becomes really difficult to find any accurate playing figures. I'll show you the list being built. Through extensive Googling, I managed to find the most popular MMORPGs in the West. We'll get to the Asian market later, but for now, here are the main games for the UK, Europe, and the USA. And once I'd exhausted Google, I hopped over to Steam to check out their list of top MMOs. That's 60 games so far, and we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel already, having to include games like Paladins, which you could argue isn't even an MMORPG, but we're really running out of Western choices here. Okay, let's jump over to the Asian market and see what they've got to offer. That's looking better. Now, I was going to include Star Citizen on this list, but I only want to include games that will one day exist. Right, that's a few more done, but it's still not a complete list. And so far, I've used Google, Wikipedia's complete list of MMORPGs, Steam's multiplayer search function, and the help of my very knowledgeable Discord channel to find every MMO I can, but we're running pretty dry now. That list, as it stands, is 95 games. There's probably hundreds more East Asian MMOs I've never heard of, so in order to include what could be there on that list, I'll assume those remaining 25 games are extremely niche and kept alive by a few whales. Just so we know what those games cost, we'll add them to the table under a single name representing those 25 spaces. We'll need a title for the representation of 25, something sensitive and respectful, a name that means you may technically exist, but I don't think anyone's going to actually play you. Right, we have our list. Now let's put each game into the table, and in order to do this, I've got to go to each game's website, find out, does this game have an upfront cost? Then does it have a monthly sub? Is there an optional VIP monthly payment? And are there any one-time upgrade payments or currency that I can buy? If the game requires an upfront cost, we're going to buy the most expensive collector's version we can. If there's a monthly sub, we'll be buying the worst value. Or if the website recommends a certain value, we'll buy that one. Here's a few examples. World of Warcraft. Initial cost, Digital Deluxe Edition, $52.99. Monthly sub, $9.99. Optional VIP? No. One-time upgrade? Well, I'm going to need the 110 character boost to be competitive, so 40 quid. Elder Scrolls Online. Initial cost, we're going with the Digital Collector's Edition for $69.99. No guaranteed monthly sub. Optional VIP of ESO Plus at $8.99 a month. And a one-time upgrade of the Newcomer Pack from Steam for $7.99. Okay, that's 2 games done so far, and we have initial one-time costs of £170.97 and monthly payments for subs and VIPs of £18.98. Now I know we could buy the cheaper version of the games or not get the optional extras, but remember, we need to be competitive, and we only have 2 hours a month to play each game, damn it, so we have no time for leveling. We need in-game items and we need them now. So if there's a collector's Super Deluxe Expensive Edition, we'll be buying that one. That's actually a good point. We've only got 2 hours to play, so we'll need to buy most of our in-game items, well, with real money. Elder Scrolls Online has the Crown Store, VIP currency you can use to buy things with. Well, remember, we're bored billionaires, so if you go to any MMORPG store and it has VIP currency, like Crowns for Elder Scrolls Online or Zen for Neverwinter, the store will always have one option listed as the most popular package, or specifically highlighted as the best value. We're going to buy that for each game, only the pack listed as the most popular. We'll include it as a one-time cost, because only playing 2 hours a month, we're unlikely to spend it all. If the game doesn't specifically list a premium currency pack as the most popular choice, we'll just buy the largest amount of currency it will let us in one go. For example, the Elder Scrolls Crown Store lists its 21,000 crown pack and labels it as the best value. Well, the label's telling me to buy it, so let's go ahead and add that as a one-time cost. Remember, we need to be competitive. The 21,000 crown pack on PC costs £109.99. So let's add it to the table. With the new rules, here's how each game will be added to our price table. Initial cost. The price to purchase the game itself. If there's a special version available, such as a deluxe version or a collector's edition, we will get the most expensive. Monthly subscription. Payment we absolutely have to make each month to play. If there are multiple monthly deals available, such as paying for 6 months or a year, we'll always choose the one it recommends we choose. pseudo-sub or VIP, an optional monthly payment to be part of the game's in-game elite. If this is an option, we'll always choose either the most expensive package or the one the website recommends. One-time upgrades, any level boosts, one-time upgrade packages, or one-time purchases from the premium currency shop. If there are multiple packages available, we'll buy the most expensive one, or the one the website specifically recommends. And once I've done that for the 95 games we've listed, what about the remaining 25 listed under Star Citizen? Well, as we won't have specific figures for those, I feel the fairest thing to do would be to find the average of the 95 we do have data for, and count each of the nameless 25 as a perfectly average game. Seems like the most reasonable thing to do, as we'll be basing it off real data. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a serious amount of research to go and do. The footage playing in the background is to prove I did manually go to each and every game and research its prices. During my hours and hours of endless Googling, I discovered some interesting things about MMORPGs in general. Some of them make their prices almost impossible to find. They require you to have an account, download the game, and then access the premium shop from the game itself. Some of them don't list any deluxe versions on the main page. Some of them don't even list their premium currency prices on the game's wiki page. It followed the pattern that the less successful the game, the harder they tried to hide their prices. World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2 happily display them and make purchasing easy, but games like Bless Online, Rift, or MapleStory, these games hid their prices behind so many login walls, I had to end up using some serious Google foo and then checking Reddit to get a good estimate on prices. For anyone interested, the most direct and simple shop to navigate was Albion Online. The most frustrating was literally anything to do with the company Nexon, the force behind MapleStory. Now, the most stupidly ridiculous expensive one-time purchase was an optional support tier for a game that isn't even out yet, Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. Now I know this game is still in development, and this is a completely optional expense, but remember, the rules said if the website gives you the option to buy the most expensive thing, then we do that. And if you want to gain the highest possible supporter tier, it will cost you $10,000. I'm not joking. That's £8,144. Now, for that, you do get to design a dungeon with the development team, but seriously, 10 grand for a supporter tier is ridiculous. It took hours. I had to make an account and then delete that account for over 50 different games just to get a look at their cash shop. I'm pretty sure I've done substantial damage to my internet privacy, and I'm looking forward to getting spam emails from every MMO for the rest of time, but eventually, I managed to do it. Quick note on the maths about those 25 unfound games. When I find the average, I will be removing Pantheon's $10,000 option, because that's an outlying bit of data and a stupid amount of money. 95 researched games, 25 averaged out games, for a total of 120 MMORPGs, with as many costs found as possible, bring us to this. If you, as a bored billionaire, wanted to be competitive at every MMORPG and played each of them for 2 hours a day, 4 games per day, and restarted your play cycle each month, it would cost you a one-time payment to buy the best versions of the games and a premium currency pack for each of £17,791.64. If we remove the stupid $10,000 Pantheon pledge, we get the much more reasonable price of £9,647.34, and a monthly fee for subscriptions and VIP clubs of £459.38. For anyone curious about the maths behind the scenes, those average figures of the additional 25 games came to a game cost of £30.33, a subscription cost of 37p, an optional VIP cost of £2.79 a month, and a one-time purchase of premium currency costing £36.20. So, the next time you want to complain about the cash shop in any game, remember, it could always be worse. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, leave a comment below, and if you really enjoyed the video, a like would be much appreciated. You're welcome to come and join us on Discord, link in the description below, or drop in whenever I'm streaming on Twitch, over at twitch.tv/Josh Strife Hayes. Thanks for your time, and have a great day.